I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
It's alive! It's alive!
What's your favorite scary movie?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! This is my boomstick!
Hey there, creatures.
I am Pinup Palmer.
And I'm Grinning Gabby.
Oh, wow.
I'm Gabby.
She's Gabby. That's who she is.
That is me.
That's your fault for picking a tricky name.
And my fault for having a speech impediment.
Remember I told you, I was like, you should be like, just call yourself like Triple G.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It was Triple G.
Triple G.
And then you
Grinning.
were PP.
I make my choices, and I lie in my deathbed with those choices. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our first episode ever of the Talky Horror Podcast show. Congrats all around. Are you excited, Gabby?
I am excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm also very nervous, making sure my sound's off on my phone.
Well, mine is always on silent. That's why I never know that my work is calling me. So they're very upset right now.
Or me or anyone.
Yeah.
Sarah, I'm at the gate. Can you let me in?
Where's Gabby? Yeah, we have great subjects to talk about. Clearly, that's what we're doing. And I'm so glad you guys are, at least if you are at home and you're watching us on YouTube channel, hello. You get to see everything and what we're doing. And then if you're not, and you just want to hear us and not look at our beat drag queen, is what Gabby likes to call me, faces, then hello over there in your car radio or at home by yourself. Sad. All sad.
That's how I listen to it.
That's how I listen to it too.
Oh, look at us.
But we like everything spooky, ooky, and in my toilet dookie.
I was going to go kooky, but we'll go with that too.
Well,
you went there.
Some things are scary. Some things that come out of me are scary.
Don't throw up. I can't wait for all this playback.
People are going to immediately tune out and they're going to be like, wow.
They're going to be like, oh my God, Pinup Palmer's gross.
Yeah, well, sorry, you guys. 1,000 subscribers gone in 1 minute as soon as I talk about my poop problems. Psych. You thought we were going to talk about scary movies and stuff? Nope, we're here to talk about my problems. Joke's on you.
Enjoy.
I was tricked into coming. She tricked me.
Wait, can we honestly talk about, so the funny thing is everybody that we've told about our podcast name has liked it so far.
Yes.
Like, I think it's clever. If you guys know, you know, and if you're true horror fans, you would know the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror is an abomination.
We love it. I crave it. I live it. Gabby lives it.
Oh, Rocky!
And we came up with this lovely pun, as you see here. I have to read it. The Talky Horror Podcast Show. I'm glad it's spelled right this time.
I'm an idiot!
If you know me, I can't spell for shit. And I think it's a clever name. But Gabby, you have a list of lovely names that were other names for a possible podcast, our podcast.
Yes.
And I must say, they're not that good.
But they were just terrible.
We even had people vote on a poll on it a couple months ago. And people actually voted for these damn names. And they were like, yeah, it's good. I'm like, is it? Is it, though?
No, not really.
But she has a list of it, and I need you guys to hear our other options that we had for our podcast names. Mind you, keep in mind, right, Gabby, that there weren't many options left.
No.
Everything was taken.
No. We're aware. We're late to the game.
Yes.
We got it.
We know we're late to the podcast train, and we accept this.
This was our fate.
Yeah. So, Gabby, you have the list. Please go ahead and read them off for us.
Let's do this. Let's start with 2 fuck faces.
Classic. Classy.
We love it.
Next.
Camp ghouls.
That one I was really excited for.
Taken.
But, yeah.
Video
Taken.
ghouls.
Taken.
Ghouls camp.
Ghouls Camp.
That was taken.
camp, play on camp. Like funny.
We're doing camp. Frightfully campy radio or podcast.
It's wordy.
Can't even say my own name, so that one would not have
That would not work.
succeeded.
Just imagine you struggling. Hello, I'm Grim Kim and Gabby, and this is the podcast camp.
My speech therapy failed me. It failed me. Who let us have a podcast? That one was a good one.
That was my dad's.
The Little Podcast of Horror.
See, I liked that one.
Was the best rating we ever had.
The Killer Ghouls. Taken.
Mm-hmm.
Taken. Two Ghouls Talk Show. I think that
There
was
was
when,
nothing creative.
No, that was when we were just tired. We were
There
just
were
like,
ghouls in the...
we have a show.
Show ghouls.
We like radio.
Show ghouls, wasn't that one?
Show Ghouls was one. Taken.
Taken off of
Golden
Showgirls.
Ghouls.
Golden Ghouls. Taken.
Taken. I don't have to read those.
God.
Golden Girls. That's a golden ticket idea, right?
The Two Ghouls broadcast.
Yeah. Wasn't there like two ghouls, one cup?
We did. We
Or
wanted
one podcast?
Two Ghouls, one podcast, but I think that was taken.
That was taken.
That was
Damn
good job.
those people.
That was
That was really good.
Ghouls in the Graveyard. Ghouls.
We were really stuck on ghouls.
All right, what are some of your likes?
Ghouls.
couldn't break away, but then we did, and we broke away to the dumbasses.
Yes. We were giving up, weren't we?
And people were like, "You guys aren't dumbasses.
You don't know us.
Yes.
You don't know us.
Then we had the Pinup and the Hillbilly.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hickaboos.
Yeah.
Hickadoos. Hickadon'ts.
Do's, Hoosker Don'ts.
The Blabbering Ghouls. Then we really held on to the next
Oh,
word.
the blabbering. Yeah.
The Blabber Ghouls.
Blabber ghouls.
Blabber Boobs.
Blabber boobs. This was the vote.
Boobs.
Blabber ghouls. Oh,
It was,
wait.
It was Blabbering Boobs.
Uh-huh.
And Boobs Who Blabber. And Blabber Boobs. And then it came down to, do you guys want us to be the Blabber Boobs? Or do you want us to be Boobs Who Blabber? Really?
Make your serious choice now. And people did.
They did.
What was the vote? What was the...
It was split. It was like 49-51, and they liked
Right.
Blabber Boobs.
Blabber boobs.
And Sarah
Which-
was like, I have a logo idea.
It was-
I'm ready. She was...
It was
in
like
it.
blabber, and then boobs would be like, ooh, like a ghost. And then with boobies,
Just
And
to
I was like-
solidify that it's a female podcast.
female.
We get it.
And, well, that didn't happen. So
We also got comments of people being like, oh, don't call yourself that. Don't call
like,
yourself.
that's the best you got. That's all we have left. You don't understand. We even settled on Camp Out Horror, wasn't it?
just
It
Camp
was
Horror.
Camp Horror, which was a play on campy once again, and then horror. We had this whole elaborate thing. We even
were excited.
set an Instagram for it, and then all of a sudden, the Mystic Museum. If you guys live here in California, the Mystic Museum decided to do Camp Horror at and I thought it was just going to be one of their monthly pop-ups that they do. Apparently not. As soon as we put it up on our Instagram, bam,
Beep, boop.
got a message from them. They were like, that's our name. And I was like, oh, I didn't know this was a permanent location. Our bad.
My bad.
We had to take everything down like immediately. We felt bad, but I was like, damn it.
It was great, though,
Damn
because
it.
Sarah was like, gotta take it down. I rechanged our name for Instagram, and it was Better Name Podcast.
Better Name
for a while.
Podcast.
And I was like, that should just be it.
Anyway,
lot of
back to
plans now.
things. That was a great thing. I'm so glad we didn't choose that. Now we have the Talky Horror Podcast Show, which we have trademarked. So it's ours.
Yes, I learned how to do all of that paperwork.
And I watched her do it. So,
Yep.
since this is our first podcast, you guys have to get to know us. This is our probably most boring podcast we're going to do because it's
Getting to know
getting to know us, getting to know all about us, and kind of where we're from, how we grew up, how we got into this horror business, and how we even met each other. I don't know about you, but Gabby,
Oh,
how did we meet?
once upon a time, in a land far away called Universal Studios Hollywood, they host an elaborate Halloween event called Halloween Horror Nights. It's real hard, I want to say HHN.
HHN.
It was 2010, a brisk night. I was leaving Scarebase because I had just left from a very popular, critically acclaimed maze, Vampires.
I vow to serve you blood!
Castle of the Undead.
If you guys have ever been to Halloween Horror Nights, there is an ongoing joke with with performers about John Murdy specifically and how he names certain mazes or streets. And he always puts a Z at the end of it. So it's like crazies or witches,
Toys.
vampires. And so we always make fun of like, man, I can't wait for sandwiches.
The unknowns.
Yeah, zombies. It's always something like that. So it's just whatever you could put a Z on. A Z, Eliza with a Z.
That's Liza with a C.
Just imagine a whole street of just different Liza Minnellis going, let's do my own little thing.
And I like it.
But it's called Liza's with a Z.
And then you you turn a corner and it's Cabaret Liza.
Yep.
And we get towards the end and it's now older Liza. It's like, hi, how you doing? Look at my kick.
She's throwing pills at you in the maze. You have to dodge them.
Get past her.
Wow, that was the best one ever.
I love her. Let's go back again. Yes, I was leaving that critically acclaimed vampire queen position. And then into Scare Base comes a very grumpy looking but beautiful baby firefly.
Thank you.
Just kept flowing. And I was like, that's good casting.
Thank you.
Hey, poopy pants.
Then I got to see her in the maze, and I was like, that's a good baby. Wow, she's really taking it out on that scalping guy.
I hated my partner, so I had to scalp him and like pull out his like head, and I was like beating the shit out of him every night. I was like, yeah, Kyle, you like that? You know, and he would be like, stop, please. And I'm sure he would have a headache. And I took out all my anger on my poor partner. I felt so bad. Anyway,
So I met her there, and I was like, she seems cool. And a friend introduced us, Gabe, because he had gone to both mazes. So he introduced us. You came when I was working at CBS Studios. I gave you snacks. I said, she's very quiet.
I like snacks.
Snacks.
She seems nice. She seems very, like, guarded because she's like, I don't know if I could trust you.
I'm a Scorpio.
And that's what I wonder. I was like, wonder if she's a Scorpio.
That'll be the never-ending story of this podcast of me mentioning how many times am I going to mention, well, I'm a Scorpio.
So that's how we met. We met because of HHN. And then the following year, we were in Alice Cooper. There was no Z's in this. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare Maze. And she was Nurse Rosetta. And I was Skeleton in the Closet A.
Which was honestly one of the best
That was
mazes,
great.
I think, to ever grace Halloween Horror Nights, and a fun cast that everybody got along with. And it was a good time. We met at the birthplace of horror.
I've seen horror.
And we've been friends for how long now, Gabby?
What?
We actually met in 2010, so 11.
It's about 11 years.
Over a decade.
Way too long.
We have to end this now.
Goodbye. And I can't leave because this is my house. Like, it would be weird. I'm like, see you later.
And I can't leave because it's prime traffic right now. And Ladybug Ladybug won't make it.
Like, we just get in a fight, but you have to stay here because of traffic, so we're not talking to each other. We're just all...
Which is fine. We've done that. We've had a fight before where I'm like, I'm going to go to my room.
Because it used to be your room.
I know. And guys, you stay in your room across the hall.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Slam. Just like a superstar. You're horrible.
Horrible!
We've been friends. We've been roommates. We've
Co-workers?
Co-workers. I mean, we still, to this day, too. And it's neat. We still work at Universal. Yeah.
We can't escape each other. I can't quit you.
No. Don't leave me. Mama make me happy. But I'm trying to read like the next segments, but my eyesight's going like... Oh my god, that's probably why I keep hitting myself in the face. How did we each get into horror, Halloween, etc., etc.? Do you want to go first?
I think you should go first.
All right, guys.
Ghost story and horror film addict.
I grew up in lovely West Covina. My mother is an Aquarius, just like you. How lovely. And she had the most decorated house on the block.
Great decorations.
Out of all the houses, I mean, she decked it out every year. It was the most exciting. I would even bring random things in that were not meant to be props outside of the house. To be props outside. And she goes, my mom's like, why is my glassware out there? And I was like, it's going with the scarecrow. It looks great. And I would set up like fake things. And my mom was just really awesome when it came to Halloween. And she likes decorating and being nifty. And so that was my introduction into it.
Happy Halloween!
And then my dad liked to show me stuff like Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he's really influential on the type of movies that I used to watch and everything. I've been working at Universal for 11 years now. I started in 2010, so I was about, 18? Mm-hmm. There you go. I was already inducted into Halloween Horror Nights, and that was my first, glance of anything like it. I've never seen an event like that before. And it just kind of gets shoved in your face of just horror, and you're in it, and then you're at the birthplace of it. So it just kind of tumbleweeded from there, I guess.
And it's kind of cool because when you're backstage, you're seeing all of these Freddies chat with each other, and you're like, that's great.
Yeah. They're playing poker.
I know.
Oh, thanks, Freddy Krueger.
The Leatherfaces are all helping each other with their saws, and you're like, look how big those guys are.
They're huge.
Wow.
That's a big man maze.
That is a big man maze.
But yeah, that's pretty much mine, and I find the beauty in horror, and of course my idol right here, Elvira. God love her, Elvira. That's my song for her. You open my door, there's a shrine, and I'm all melody.
I mean, you do have a life-size cardboard cutout in your dining
I do,
area.
and I'm going to bring her in here, whether you guys like it or not. She's going to inch her way in here slowly.
She's been trying to get her in here somewhere.
Elvira, mistress of the dark.
But yeah, that's my story. Gabby, go ahead. Got nothing else?
Much like Bane, I was born into it. So I grew up in Houston, Texas, and my mom, she's all about horror. It's from her. It was born into us. Janet. It started because she snuck into Psycho when she wasn't supposed to. She snuck into a movie theater. She was born and raised in New York. Watched it. Was like, this is great. Yeah. Stayed, watched it again, and said, I'm going to go scare my sister. Went.
As one does.
Yes. Her sister then had a seizure because my mom did the whole, she's in a shower.
Why am I laughing at that seizure?
Terrible, terrible woman.
Because you know my mom.
Yeah.
So
I know she's fine.
And my mom's always played pranks. She's always scared people, so it was just something she's just always loved. So that was a thing of when I have children, they too will love this, or I will disown them. And I feel real bad for Iris, because Iris doesn't like horror, so she's a little disowned, but it's fine. We still love her.
Too bad for her.
Too bad. But I grew up in it. It's always been around. We're very spiritual, so it's always been get the sage and have the crystals.
Crystals, sage.
Talk to the universe, and was the ghost bothering you? Tell the ghost to go away. So it's never been anything of
Yeah, living with Gabby is always fun, because you're just randomly just sitting on your couch, and then she just goes... You're oh, what now? She goes, a door, a portal just opened up. You're like, what the fuck kind of portal opened up?
It's green.
The fuck does that mean? Recently, you told me there was a goblin in my bathroom that's swiping away at stuff, and it likes the darkness.
Yeah.
And do you know how paranoid I fucking am now, going in just to take back to my shit, to take a shit into my own bathroom, and I have to turn on the light because apparently he likes darkness.
He likes the darkness.
And I'm just sitting in there trying to do my duty, and I'm just going
duty. I get it.
Where the fuck is this little fucker? How big is it? And she's the ears.
He's got floppy ears. He hides in the dark. He's just mischievous little, and he likes the dark. But it's funny because I was in there and I was like, what the?
Tastes like goblin piss.
People get, their grandparents, spirits. I get a goblin in there.
He's a goblin or a hobbit.
Going you have to pay the toll, to take a shit. What?
Yeah,
what do you mean I have to solve this riddle in order to go piss? Anyway,
does.
I told you this was going to be about my poop.
Can't wait when Sarah's looking at editing. She's like,
what's wrong with me?
What I do? But yeah, that's it's always been a thing. I remember watching the earliest I remember was 6. I was 6 years old. And then my mom told me when it was time for nap time, she'd put on Nosferatu or Albert and Costello meet some kind of monster. And
I dressed up as Nosferatu once. Insert picture here. I know which one to do. I know. We'll find it.
I know which one you're doing. So yeah, then it was Halloween time. Was Janet was alive.
Alive. It's alive.
It was time.
It's alive.
Things were decorated, and it was never cutesy. Mom said, no, we don't do cutesy. We do spooky. We do gore. We want people to cry. She also would hide in corners and pop out and scare us. And if she made you cry, she was like, oh, I still got it.
Yeah.
She'd hide radios under your bed to talk to you. Because she's like, I got to build a backbone for you.
You want tough? You got tough.
Anytime she could, she pranked Joey. She tried to scare
Yeah, she tried to scare me. She was making weird voices while we were there. You know, damn it, Janet. Damn it, Janet. That's coming up next. It's great stuff. We like horror.
I love you.
That's just kind of who we are now, but we like horror in our own individual way.
Yes.
I found a good, lovely pinup root of it that I didn't know existed. Thank goodness. Thanks to people like, I would say, what? Michelin Pitts is really... Because I used to dress in pinup all the time, but she really, like, took that pink.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could combine the two worlds together. And
I
she
remember
just
when you realized that, your whole brain went...
I sizzled, and I was like...
And then your closet changed.
Everything changed. And I was like, oh, wait, I could still be spooky and pink. And I went, that's it. Thank you, Micheline. And thank you, people like Elvira. And Elvira, I've modeled for her pinup line. So it's like, best of both fucking worlds. Thank you, Elvira. Elvira. But yeah, I mean, it's a good time. And then you came to me and you're like, I want to do a podcast.
I did. And I've wanted to do it for a while, but, you know, the insecurities were rampant. So finally in January, I was like, hey, Sarah, I'd like to have a meeting with you.
And I was like, okay, are you all right?
My palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. And, I want to do a podcast. And here's why. And I didn't even have to break into anything because she was like, yeah, okay, let's go. Oh, I had I was ready to break it down.
You don't need to do that with me. You don't.
But it's just it's another thing Janet has installed.
Wow.
Instilled? It's the same thing. Instilled, installed.
Like I can spell it. I'm an idiot. It's been a good time, and I hope you guys can enjoy the ride with us because we do really have great segments and great people that really want to be on this podcast with us. And we'll talk about horror movies. We'll talk about horror things, spooky things, Halloween things. You're more horror. I'm more like, I like Halloween kooky dooky.
Yeah.
Spooky, happy, weirdness.
You know, and comedies and stuff. And this episode, we just wanted you guys to kind of get to know us and see where we're coming from. And also, on that note, Gabby.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite horror film?
There's so many.
There is so many. It's the hardest question you can ask a horror fanatic.
Yes, because then I want to go, well, let's break it down to the genre. Like, what's our subgenre? Because then I can go from there. So that was my brain just stopping because it doesn't...
Just like your mother's sister.
My brain hurts!
I think overall, just because it has some scary moments and it's campy and it's bringing Fright Night.
Fright Night.
I like Fright Night.
It's a good one. I like Fright
It's not like super scary, but it had those moments.
It reminds me of Halloween. Like it's just a good Halloween film. It's got vampires. It's got ridiculous... what do they call it? Oh my God. I'm having a brain fart. More root beer. Hold on.
A root beer barrel?
It really is root beer.
It is. I didn't have any coffee. Leave me alone. Practical effects.
Yeah.
In it. And yeah, it's a good one. That's a solid film.
It is. That's why I was like, God, I love me some good scary, but if I'm going to pick and been like, what am I going to watch over and over again? I'm going to watch Fright Night.
Right.
Welcome to Fright Night.
What about you?
That's a very good question, Gabby.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you
welcome.
so much for asking.
I think of the good ones.
I mean, does it have to be considered horror, or can it be in the Halloween?
Hey, it's our podcast.
It could be whatever I want.
Yes.
Don't care how, I want it now.
With that said, then, I know this is not technically considered a horror film, but it is a nice homage to horror films, and that is Scary Movie.
Yes.
Scary Movie is my favorite by far because it makes fun of all the tropes of any kind of horror film that is ever out there, and I have watched that movie, and I could quote that movie over
I don't know
and
how many times you
over
watched it.
Help! My pussy's gone crazy!
and over. It's 1 and 2. I mean, I've seen all of them, but 1 and 2 are like, they're solid. They're so solid. And what are you waiting for? What am I waiting for? And it's my favorite thing because I love when people mix comedy and horror together. And I didn't know that Scary Movie was not the first one to do a mixture of horror movies put together. Like we know, like Mel Brooks did like Young Frankenstein, and he did High Anxiety, which was to make fun of like Hitchcock films. But it was just circled around more of like a subject matter, like this is what it is. Scary Movie hits home with different horror films. However, there was a movie that came out in 1981, which there's something about that year. I always say it with me. It's the same year Evil Dead came out.
Groovy.
And Elvira first was on the air in 1981. Something about that year, guys. There was a movie called Student Bodies that came out.
That's a good one.
And my dad suggested it to me. He's like, I saw it with your mom in theaters, and it was the first, like, because this is when, like, the slasher films were just coming out, like Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street came out all in that kind of bracket, and they were making fun of all the films, and I was laughing my freaking head off.
Class, today we will learn how to make a horsehead bookend.
And yeah, just any kind of horror comedies, that's what I like. But if we're sticking to, like, a horror slasher or something, I gotta go with Halloween. Michael Myers. So you guys, we are gonna play a little game. We have different games set up for you guys throughout our our podcast through multiple different things. But today we are gonna do a nice, lovely segment called Damn It, Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
And if you guys know Rocky Horror Picture Show, then you know this is a pun on that. If you don't, great.
I do.
But Gabby's mom's name is Janet, as we gathered from before, correct?
Correct.
Which we found funny and also perfect for exactly this segment. So Damn It, Janet is us, and we're going to pretend that we are telemarketers, and I'm calling on my number so that Janet doesn't know who it is.
Yes.
And basically, this is us just bugging Gabby's mom 24/7. And let's see what she has to say. Are we hooked up to the Bluetooth?
We're hooked up.
Are we ready?
I'm scared.
Let's call Gabby's mom.
Now, do you hear it in the headset now?
Kind of.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Is this Janet? Just Janet?
My mommy calls me that, but my mommy's named Janet too.
Oh, can you get your mommy on the phone for us, please, ma'am?
I wish you would have said that she left me. My mommy's not here. Daddy said she left. You want to be my mommy?
Do I want to be your mommy?
I need a mommy.
Listen, can you please get Janet on the phone? If this isn't
No.
Janet. No. Great. Do you
No.
happen to know your social security number?
I am too young to have one.
You're too young to have one. No social security number. That's not good.
Don't bother me none.
Don't bother me. I'm sure it doesn't. Well, do you happen to know your mommy's credit card number?
Why?
Because she is late on her bills, and then she's going to get the...
problem, not mine.
Ma'am, I don't need your sass at all. I just need your credit card number. That's all I need. Your mom is such a dick.
You got a mirror. You got a mirror.
Do I
You
have...
have a mirror.
I have a mirror?
Yes, you have a mirror.
Yes, I have a mirror.
Okay, then take that mirror, look at yourself, and give your own number.
Thank you so much. All right, we will call your mother back next time. Thank you so much.
Okie
That's my mom, everybody. That's my mom.
She played a child.
And not a good one.
She played a child. Okay, and I'm just like, I'm not sure what to do with this. I thought she was going to be upset or cuss me out. The route Janet went to play...
You think she's gonna zig, and you're like, let's prepare for a zag, and instead she's a zop. Liz, do you get it now? Do you get a little bit about me now?
I had this whole
Come
thing
on, Mom.
set up in my head. I had all these questions, and she threw me off, and I went, well, my improv's done now. I don't know what to do with this. Fuck.
Improv.
Did you notice I forgot your mom's last name? I didn't know what to call her. I was like, Janet. Just Janet. This is clearly a professional call. God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Damn It, Janet. That is Gabby's mother.
Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
That's what she had to deal with her entire life and resorted to... What's wrong with Baby Jane?
Oh my gosh, she loves that movie, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's totally the route that she went. Well,
see, and I think this also helps people go, Gabby, why are you so weird? Oh, you haven't met my family.
Yeah, the fruit doesn't fall so far from the tree.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
She's such
My
a
70-year-old
Your mom's kind
mother.
of a dick for doing that. Like, if I was truly a telemarketer, I would have been like, son of a bitch.
Thanks, Mom. I can't wait for you to find out this happened.
Right. If you guys have weird mothers or weird mother stories, please go ahead, put it down in the comments down below. I would love to hear.
That could be a whole episode of our horrors of our mothers.
Mothers. Christina! Christopher! Damn it. You know.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the dirt.
That is a horror movie, whether people like it or not. That is a horror
movie.
movie. I don't care what people say. That is a gay culture icon horror movie.
That
Hands
is.
down. Fight me. Fight me, horror fanatics.
No more hanger!
No, it's a horror movie.
You don't know. You don't know what scares people.
Janet classifies it as horror.
Put it down below if you guys think Mommy Dearest is a horror filming. A horror
Filming. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Is a horror movie. Would you consider that a horror movie? I actually was listening to a different podcast, Dead Meat James, if you guys watch Dead Meat. He did an entire segment on, like, is it a horror movie or is it not? Like, what is considered, and like things like Jurassic Park were up for that. And I'm not going to really get into it much. We'll probably get into a whole episode on that. But no, I don't think Jurassic Park is a horror movie. But yet I consider Jaws, and I don't know why.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Weird, right?
Isn't it just on how it makes you feel?
How it makes you feel. There's like a whole
thing.
segment on like what classifies as a horror movie or a thriller or an action thriller.
Right.
You know, like Terminator can be considered action thriller.
Same with like
horror.
what's a horror comedy and what's a dark comedy.
Right.
And that borderline.
Yeah. Yeah. And
oh, we never did. Remember, we were gonna do our little shorts of Mommy Dearest.
Yeah, we'll put this up here. Enjoy, everybody. Back in the day at Gabby's old apartment.
Hi, everybody. There will be a series of Mommy Dearest movies coming to you shortly.
I asked you to keep the kids quiet, please!
That was a good day.
We never did anything with it. It was just a one-time thing.
It was another one of those people being like, "Oh, there's more coming," and we're like,
No. We have jobs.
"We did," and we get tired fast.
Yeah. We have spurts of energy. It's like ADHD of like, great ideas. Really great.
Right.
Can't wait to not do it.
Yeah. I'm anemic. I sleep all the time.
Multiple vitamin deficiencies, anemia, low blood pressure.
It's kind of how the inside joke with this podcast, we were like, what if we just kept doing promos?
Because, okay, I have never seen anybody do this many promos for a frickin' podcast, not even celebrities or anything. Oh. Guys, we put the work into this. You got to give us some round of applause, invisible round of applause, just for ourselves. This is my own narcissism, just like...
It's because you're a Scorpio with that Capricorn Cancer, I get it.
So, yeah, I think we have over 1,000 subscribers, which is very hard to do on Instagram. And
Oh, good for
we
you!
didn't even have an episode yet, so thank you guys for even bothering with us. I mean, my God. But for our next couple episodes, well, our next episode that we were thinking of doing is horror comedy. We're going to talk about horror comedies in general of all different shapes, sizes, and types.
I'm so excited about that.
I love it, and I could probably talk about it for hours.
I feel like that'll be more than just an episode. Like that'll be like
it's going to be divided.
Yeah, it has to be.
Kind of how it came about and what sheds a light on, for people that are maybe too scared to watch a horror film.
Yeah, like they maybe want like a good jump, like
very startled.
But then you want to laugh. We got you.
Or if you want to ease your way into gore a little bit, there's some silly movies that have gore, like Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
We have had a doozy of a day.
Gore! And so I can't wait to talk about that and you guys to listen to us actually talk about something spooky, ooky, dooky, and mad dooky looky doo.
Okay, Sarah. Kooky? I like you just don't, you're like, I hate that word.
I scrapped it all.
Like Ernest Scared Stupid. I love that one.
Stupid is stupid. So if you guys are watching this and there is a comment section or not, if there is, go ahead and comment down below. One, your favorite scary movie, maybe a thing you would like us to do or even talk about.
Just shut up
a subject, a movie, a moment, a moment.
That was beautiful.
We did it. We nailed that. Nailed it. You and
anything that you want. We already have ideas and lineups, but we would like to hear your guys' suggestions. So go ahead and put it down below in the comments, or even reach out to us on our Instagram at what, Gabby?
_ the Talky Horror Podcast _
Because
we couldn't, it wouldn't let us put the whole word podcast. It kept rejecting. It rejected us. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and then absolutely leave the comment on what Sarah said. What's your favorite scary movie? And what you'd like to see from us. Same with Instagram. If you're listening to us on Monday, head on over to our Instagram and leave us a comment. We'll have a picture posted on, again, what's your favorite scary movie and what would you like to see from us? Did you like us?
Please tell us you like us.
Please.
Or else this would all be for nothing. All those promos. Please. Great promos, though. Shitty podcasts.
We'll just go back to doing promos then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, fine.
Whatever. We see what you guys want. But yes, we are bi-weekly. We will arrive every Monday. Every other
That's
Monday.
What bi-weekly means.
Bi-weekly. Happy Pride.
Tell Sarah what that meant.
Don't tell him that. Oh my God. They're going to know I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot!
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our first ever episode. Yay!
Of many.
Like, look at, we put up posters for you guys, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Do you know how much time it took for Joey to do that?
Yeah, Joey had to do a lot.
Yeah.
I had to use a lot of my printer ink.
This is mine. So, don't dream it. Be it. You little weirdos. Be weird as all you can be. And I guess we will see you next week.
We'll see. Yep, even with the jaw. Yeah.
Next bi-weekly. We will see you next.
We will see you in 2 weeks.
So I am Pinup Palmer.
And I'm Grinning Gabby.
And this is the Talky Horror. You got that right. I'm so proud of you. And this is the Talky Horror Podcast Show. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.
Bye, creatures.